So I know with this senior thing, I have had something very spicy or something interesting for my guests to eat. But for this one, I figured we take a load off because we are joined by a current state champion, Jakub Resler, part of the Warren Central Percussion, two-time marching band state champion, now a state champion for winter percussion. Jacob, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you, man?
I'm feeling good. I'm excited for this.
Yeah, me too.
Trying to get the performing arts department some recognition. We're going to talk about that later on. But one thing I was wondering, because wasn't it our freshman year there was something statewide that happened for winter percussion?
Yeah. What?
Because I was trying to look on like the records. I thought like that was another state, but was it like another level?
Oh, right. So freshman year, actually would have been my 8th grade year. They won indoor percussion.
Okay.
For concert class, which is instead of marching around like we normally do, it's
Just
standing
there.
concert, right?
Okay. And then you joined freshman year, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I joined my freshman year.
So that answers that question. And then what made you join? What stuck you in?
Man, I don't even know. I remember my 7th and 8th grade year. I was kind of still contemplating doing it because I used to play hockey, right? So, so I came in my freshman year and I was like, man, do I really want to do this? And I was like, like those 12-hour band camps we used to have. I went home and I was like, I don't think I want to do this anymore. And I stuck with it, and I'm glad I did because, like you said, we got 2 state championships out of it, and another one my senior year. So.
Are you getting a class ring too?
Yeah, hopefully.
So then you got 4.
Yeah.
So we won it all. We won it 4 in the beginning. Yeah. Got a Mickey Mouse loss junior year. And then so you didn't do percussion in middle school?
Yeah, I did percussion.
You did? Okay. And then they like promotion and all that kind of made you get interested. Okay. And then things were rough. I know things were rough for us. I'm sure it also was. What made you stay in? I feel like have you ever had a moment of should I quit?
Yeah, I've had a lot of moments. I'm sure everybody has, but I've had a lot of moments of should I quit, those ups and down days. It sucks, but I think it proves that, anybody can get through it. If you just stick through it, good things. There's a light at the end of the tunnel in any situation, man.
Absolutely.
Just stick with it, and good things will come your way.
I had a lot of good things because, I know you know my story and everything.
Right.
I like when I write about it for an essay and everything, I don't say that I was going to quit I was going to quit if I knew I could have, but I would have been packed out of there.
Right.
And then do you feel like if everything was normal, COVID, I wouldn't say didn't happen, but didn't affect this year as much and then last year, no technical difficulties, do you think we would have gotten 4 in a row?
Yeah.
You think so?
I definitely think so, man. Since we didn't have like a real season, I would call it. I mean, it was still a season. We got a gold rating, knowing that show we had, the group we had. It was a special, fun group. We lost a lot of people, but I think out of that we gained a lot of good things out of it. And I definitely think we would have won as a group.
Because I hope so. Because do you remember also? I know it was our freshman year. That was back when Lentz was there, and then Himes and Mecca said, if we win all 4 years, they'll get a tattoo.
Yeah, I remember that.
And then we choose. And they said it as a joke, which is crazy.
Yeah.
And then last year, I don't know, because I feel like a lot of the people coming in kind of they felt too hyped up from what we did the 2 years before. And they're like, oh, we got this, and then we didn't got it.
Yeah,
so
everybody came in a little bit too cocky, We tried to talk, like, the new people that came in, we tried to talk them down, like, nothing's getting handed to us. People are starting to catch up to us, see what we're doing. We got to change up our ways a little bit, step it up a little bit. And people are just, I think, a little too cocky. Not in a bad way. I think we still would have got it, though, but it was a fun season either way.
Do you remember who we lost to last year?
Where the state finals got put inside the indoor.
Was it Lafayette Jefferson?
I think it was Lafayette. Yeah, I don't remember.
I had never heard of him before.
I have never heard of him either.
I just felt so upset because
it sucked.
I know that was like when they were only good still, but I mean, like you're saying, you brush through it. Life happens, things happen for a reason.
Yeah, you look forward to the next year.
Absolutely, and back for state, how did you feel? Your first year in marching band, a lot of people's first year, the Florida trip, and then how did state feel topping it off?
I think all through the whole year, I think as we progressed, it got a lot more fun. Had a lot of stuff to look to, like you said, the Florida trip, a lot of competition, stuff that I wasn't used to. And then we won state to cap it all off, like you said. I think that was a surreal moment for all of us, especially the seniors, I think, was that the first ever state championship for marching band? I think it was.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, it was definitely, especially for our directors, all the hard work paid off for them, all the stuff they've, gave to us and put in for us, man, it was a special moment.
Mm-hmm. And then back to back, how
Yeah.
did that feel for you also?
Man, that was even better. It's goosebumps all around. Just like we really did that. Like that is crazy. Like we go into that season and it's like, yeah, I hope we can do it again. And then we get that crazy fun show. We put it on the field, and it's the crowd enjoys it. The parents enjoy it. We enjoy it especially.
Mm-hmm.
And then end of the season, we win state again. Get to play Lucas Oil. Crazy, fun.
Out of all four that we've done, just marching so far, what has been your favorite?
Definitely Mirror, my sophomore year.
See, I know that was a good one too, cause like, I have like whatever audio files or whatever I can listen to them out of the ordinary sometimes, but I don't know, cause I like Mirror a lot.
Yeah,
but I feel like Numbers was just
Numbers is pretty fun. I think it was Numbers is pretty fun. It was just I think I liked Mirror a little bit more because of the.
You guys, percussion got a lot of cool stuff too.
Yeah, it was more intense. It was really fun though. Put it on the field. Mm-hmm. Sound the band produced was really amazing too.
And that's one of the big things. I mean, you hear what it's supposed to sound like, and then what it sounds like at the beginning. That's one of the fun parts. Building it all up.
Yeah.
To the final product.
Mm-hmm.
And then what's next for you in terms of maybe percussion or just in general?
Yeah. So I mean, I'm going to college this fall. Don't know exactly where yet. Hopefully around here, IUPUI. But hopefully I'll try to march drum corps somewhere, do an indoor percussion group, DCI, WGI, stuff like that. So a lot of stuff I look forward to in the future as well.
And then what are you planning on going for?
Accounting, being accounting.
Okay. Are you in a bunch of the business classes here?
I'm taking accounting right now. Sorry. But my dad has his own accounting business, so that kind of inspired me to.
And do you do a lot of work with that?
Yeah, not him yet, but hopefully I will soon. Yeah.
Oh dang, that's really cool. You get just firsthand experience.
Right.
And then for winter percussion, did you start that freshman year also?
Yeah, winter percussion. My first season was my freshman year in 2018, which was the winter of 2018.
Yeah. So what made you get involved with that?
So I thought, I didn't. It wasn't really in a thing. I was like, I don't know if I want to do this or should I do this. I think I was just like, yeah, I'm doing it. And I wasn't really experienced back my freshman year, and I'm glad I look back on it. I'm glad I joined it because I've done marching band and inner percussion all 4 years, and there's been a lot of ups and downs, as you know, especially for winter percussion. But there's not a specific reason I joined. I just kind of was like, yeah, let's do it, and I'm glad I did. Stuck with it.
Mm-hmm. And then one of the also main things that I guess I do understand, but also get a little confused is the exact differences between winter percussion and the outdoor marching season.
Yeah, so marching band is a full band. You got winds such as trumpets, mellophones, clarinets, the drum line. And then you got a front ensemble, which is marimba, xylophone, vibraphones. And then winter percussion is indoors in a gym, and it's just the drumline and front ensemble. And you put it on a tarp, you get a custom tarp show, and it's a lot different than marching band because instead of just marching side to side and up and down, there's a lot of movement and dance involved, kind of a lot more movement and visual stuff involved, and not just a basic marching band uniform. It's usually a little more designed towards the theme of the show.
I think that's really cool. And then I feel like the style of marching for percussion is a lot harder.
Yeah.
How did you adjust to that freshman year?
Yeah, I mean, freshman year, I was freshman and sophomore year, I was in the front ensemble, and then I made the transition junior year to the drum line to snare drum. And I think at first, the first couple months, marching was hard for me. And I just watched the guys around me. I practice on my own time. At least I tried. Just the transition to marching was a little different, and luckily, the marching between marching band and indoor percussion isn't that different. Mm-hmm. But it's just a little bit more to learn, and I think the transition was a little difficult, but it was a fun challenge to take.
Yeah, because I do remember you were in front for a few years.
Yeah.
What made you actually get involved in the drum line?
So my freshman year, I was going to join the drum line, and I was like, no, I like mallets more. And then all of a sudden my junior year, I was like, well, the drum line's really fun. I've been able to watch them for the past 2 years as I was a sophomore and just see what they do. It looked really fun. I was like, well, I talked to Himes and Brennan. I was like, can you teach me how to play snare? I really want to play snare, and if I don't fit on snare, I'll play bass or stick in the front ensemble, whatever you guys need. And luckily, I got put on snare, and I'm glad I did because it was a really fun transition for me. And then, the past 2 years I've been on snare drum, so it's been really fun to be on there.
And I feel like, just from an outsider perspective, I feel like seeing you on snare and start out on that kind of brought you into a leader role. Compared to freshman year, how much do you think that has helped you now?
I think it's helped a lot. Get to know new people, become a different person in a better way, actually mature, and not just do it for fun, but actually be a leader for the people around me and continue the legacy, and hopefully those kids out there continue that legacy and that championship mindset. So, I think it was a pretty fun transition, and especially being able to become a leader for the whole ensemble was really fun for me.
And then what has been your favorite memory from all your time in winter percussion?
Probably this past season winning state.
Makes sense.
I think, the whole season we had a really fun show, and we were really worried, like, especially me being, like, one of the only, I think there's 3 seniors in the whole ensemble. We were really worried, like, we really want to get a state championship out of this, and if we don't, that sucks, but we just hope, especially with COVID, we just wanted to be able to have a full season with regular competitions, and I think it was a really fun season all around, and, yeah, this season was definitely my favorite.
Because you guys were ranked, before state happened, you guys were, projected to be, one of the top ones, right?
Yeah, I think we're projected pretty high, which is, we try not to let that get to our heads. We still try to, maybe we are projected high, maybe we're not, and we try to, still work as hard as we can, and then try our best out there every competition and make improvements each week, every Saturday.
And then for the performing arts, especially at Warren, are one of the things that get, I'd say, under-recognized. I don't want to say not appreciated and all that. What do you think about that, what do you think could change to help make it more appreciated?
I just think people look at us kind of like, I don't know why they look, because they think Warren and they think the side of town we're in, they think that we're not good enough and the kids here aren't good enough, and I think that's I think it's almost disrespectful for our whole township and especially our department, and especially what all our directors, Mr. Meckes, Himes, Ms. Holcomb, the whole, even the, choir, orchestra, band, the whole performing arts department is very underrated here, and I think it should be very much appreciated way more around the state, and people don't know how much work all the departments and put in, and how many championships and everything that goes on here. I think is very underappreciated around.
Yeah, because I know the choir, they've been very high up ever since before we came here. The state championships for band and percussion definitely at least put us on the map, at least make people recognize. It's just, and one of the main things, do you remember the thing with halftime, or like the big thing? They're like, it was mainly like guard versus Jake Jumpman Jones a lot.
Yeah.
It was crazy that happened.
Yeah.
But
I was friends. I'm still friends with him. I still talk to him here and there, and I think it sucks, the whole thing. People talking about, people say marching band is a sport, marching band isn't a sport. I don't, you believe what you want to believe. I just wish there wasn't a whole, there's gonna be arguments. I just think it went pretty far, and I just think that's what kind of sparked up that whole incident and made the marching band pretty unappreciated at half times, which, it sucks that it is that way, but we went through it, we got through it, and we did our own thing.
And that does bring me to the question, do you think that marching band is a sport?
Personally, I don't, but I don't, in a bad way, I don't think it's, not in a bad way, I think the quality of work is still as much as a sport. I just don't think it falls in the category of a sport, but I think the work of it definitely is still equivalent to a sport.
And then next, what about guard?
I don't think so either. They'll probably be mad at me about that, but again, the work they put in is crazy. 5-6 days a week, 12-hour Saturdays, 12-hour practices, especially the guard and band. it's still, it can be more than some sports. It can be just as much. I mean, it's not in the category of a sport, but the work they put in is crazy. Still as much as a sport.
Because I know, like, a main argument is, like, how is golf a sport, but marksman is, but I think, or even freshman year, and I think maybe a little bit in sophomore, I felt like it was, but I sort of realized that just because it's not a sport, and, like, people think that saying it's not a sport doesn't mean it doesn't take hard work.
Exactly.
It's not fun. It doesn't have the payoff, but, I mean, just logistically speaking, there's no real competition sets in sports, but it's still fun. It's still even cheerleading. Cheerleading is hard, especially like competitive, but it's just not a sport, and that I feel like is what it boils down to.
Yeah, exactly. It's the work you put in and how much work you put in. It's you can call anything a sport, but it boils down to what work you put in, how much you put in, and it comes down to marching band and guard puts in a crazy amount of work. That's what makes people think like you just don't work hard if you're not a sport.
And then the next thing I want to talk about, I'm glad you mentioned it earlier. You said you played hockey before you got into percussion, and like you were in leagues and everything.
Yeah.
Or is that like that's weird? Because I mean, I guess you never really hear about it because we're in Indiana. But what got you involved?
I started skating when I was around 4 years old. So, I mean, I'm lucky I got into it at a really young age, and then I played through it, 12, 13 years. I played around the state, played with a few different teams. That was a lot of work too. I mean, it's just as much as a marching band does. I can say that because I've been there and done that for both times. I mean, it depends on the level you get to. Like, drum corps, they put in 5 days, 6 days a week, 12-hour days of nonstop work. But then, sports can do the same amount. But, yeah, I think a hockey transition, it was definitely a different transition, but it was just the same amount as work, just in a different way.
Because I know, like, I figured, like, you definitely had a connection to hockey because I see you post a lot about the schedules and the championships. So are you which team are you a fan of?
Penguins.
Where does family come from?
Yeah,
Pittsburgh,
my dad and his dad have always been Pittsburgh fans. Just the city, so I was, I followed along, and I was a fan of them too.
Have you ever visited Pittsburgh?
Yeah, I go there. I try to go there every year. I think we didn't last year because COVID. And I'm going again this summer. But, yeah, anytime I get to go there, it's a really fun city.
That sounds great. And then, I mean, how often do you, like, try to pick hockey back up, or do you think it's something you might even give another shot later on?
I play with some guys I know every Thursday nights up in Fishers at that rink up there. And then, hopefully, I mean, it'll probably just be something I do for fun here and there. It's something I still really enjoy. Just my freshman year, and it came down to it. I live over here, and it was easier for me to do marching band rather than going to Fishers and Carmel every 2 or 3 days, and that's pretty hard, especially going out of state, every weekend.
How much harder do you think that makes it that, like, the hockey scene isn't too big compared to, of course, like Minnesota and all the other ones where, like, hockey's a sport in every school? Like, how much harder does it make it to get involved for you?
I mean, it depends on, like you said, where you're located, like Minnesota, all those big states, you're surrounded by it. But here, luckily, we have it pretty good here. There's leagues in South Side, Carmel, Fort Wayne, all around. I mean, there's not a, like, if you go and get registered for something, there's not a place you won't play. Like, if you don't make the team, there's always a lower step for you to play, even if you just want to do it for fun. If you don't care, don't want to do it at all, or you're really serious and you want to make, like, the top, travel team, there's always there's always somewhere for you to play around here.
So then do you play the NHL games too?
Yeah, I try. Yeah, I do sometimes.
See, because I got into them over the summer because I had, like, the EA Play and started playing NHL 20. It's fun.
Yeah, it's really fun.
I guess for me it's a lot harder because I've got an outside perspective. But how big is the, like, I guess, NHL YouTube community? I don't know if you know much about that or just the NHL community in general.
Yeah, I mean, it's not as big as, like, other gaming communities, but I think I don't follow the gaming community as much, but I think it's still pretty big compared to other ones like 2K, Madden, all those other. It's a big community.
Because I know, like, Nasher's kind of like the big guy. I know he does, like, in real life stuff, and also, do you do like the actual, I forgot what it's called, but not on ice, but just ground hockey with the rollerblades?
Yeah, so I used to in the summer, like when the season would end, I would try to train outside with rollerblades and stuff like that. But I think on ice is a lot. It's a lot more better, more fun, getting on ice. But outside, rollerblades pretty fun too.
Well, I really appreciate it. Thank you for joining me also, Jacob.
Thank you for having me.
It's been kindergarten.
Yeah, I think we've known each other since kindergarten.
Jeez. I got to come to your open house, too. I got to find more about that. Yeah, thank you so much. We got 2 state championships together. You got the third one not too long ago. Was that specifically, like, February or
I think even before? March.
March?
Yeah.
Jeez. And that's
March.
and it's good even for your senior year, just having that to come out of high school with. Are you gonna wear your rings to graduation?
Yeah, definitely.
You have to. Just bling it out. Absolutely. You know, good luck to everything going on, especially in your college search and your music career, whatever you have going on. Even maybe picking back up hockey. See you in a walk on, whatever.
Thank you.
But thank you so much for joining me, Jacob. And this has been what should I call this? Because I have a good name for everything. I did like special team special for football.
I don't know, man. I don't have a good one on top of my head.
Percussion bash. I don't know. I'll look up like alliterations because I got like keep the beat with something. I got the title in my mind already. Whatever. I'll figure it out. Thank you, everyone.